and then drag and do the same thing on the 5 minute, but you'll use a different template or a setup.
Okay, so then again, just do load.
Yep.
Load and then use
the 5 minute.
5, yeah, okay, 5 minutes. Okay. Yeah, sorry, and I okay. Load or okay?
Just hit okay. You already loaded it.
Oh, okay. Perfect. Thanks a lot. Yeah, sorry. I mean, I could have stayed afterwards to do this, but yeah, no, the question I was asking is, just like we do on Alveo, how can I know exactly what percentage of my lots am I using at any given time, just so that when we agreed we're trading light and we're not going to use more than 50% at any given time, how can I know exactly what percentage I'm using?
Well, yeah, so on it's all relative to your account balance, right?
Right, I understand that.
Right, and so on a $5,000 account, which is what we're all starting with, the maximum amount that I ever want you to go in is 4 lots.
Right.
Is that what you're asking? And
Yeah.
Over here is gonna tell you that by your sum.
Right. Right. Oh, okay. So my sum, and that's gonna be okay. And that's gonna be okay. So these you have on the screen. That was a $5,000 account. I got it up to 15. What you see over there. So I would just have to figure out like 7,500 or something like that. And
as we start to increase, I'll start to let you guys know what you should be trading at for each account. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
I know you're trying to fund your account, and we'll start with that. So, and yeah, just with a $5,000 account, that's it, right?
Okay. Perfect.
We'll just go for four lots. Okay. Dad, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Yeah.
All right. I think
I did a 2% early this morning. Like between midnight and 2, and then I did another 6% this morning in my 5,000 account, and the other account I'm just holding off for trading with you.
Okay. Let's see who we got here. Is Cool made it here yet? I was going to trade with him today.
I haven't seen it. Do you want to trade with your dad?
I'm here.
There he is.
There he is.
Good. Go ahead. How are you doing?
On this one right here, I'm only up $41 or $40. I've only traded a couple of times today. I had some stuff I needed to do.
Well, you ready to
Yep. I'll share my screen.
Yep. Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's jump in.
Okay.
All right. So let's take our initial assessment here real fast. So obviously it's been going down quite a lot, right? So we have a huge, if you look at like the 5 minute chart and kind of widen it out. So kind of use your plus and minus keys. It's the fastest way to do that. You can kind of see that we've had this trend. So go ahead and down. There you go, right there. Now hit your end key on your keyboard. There you go. And then hit the minus key a couple more times. And then hit your end key again. All right, so this is what we're looking at. So, there's another question. I think Joseph asked the question, how do you remove stuff on your chart? And let's do that right now. So on the 5 minute chart, you just right click on it on your 5 minute chart and then object list. And then hit, list all, Control A.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's kind It's kind of cumbersome. I wish it was a lot easier not, but that's.
Could you quickly just go over the center icon that looks like a camera and file download? Oh, you don't have them. Why is
No.
that?
Maybe we're not seeing it.
Okay, well, interesting. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, I mean,
I
you
have
can
a
change
icon here
your
in the middle
views
there.
or your tools or whatever charts you're using. All right, let's go back to the 5-minute chart. Cool, and press the end button one more time so we can kind of bring that up. All right, so let's kind of look for our trend line and our majors real quick. So right here, that's how you draw a trend line.
So would you?
There you go. There you go. Now let's look at our majors.
Well, where would you look at majors when this is pretty high up here?
Yeah, so I'd zoom in to where we're trading at.
Got it.
Go ahead and zoom in. And in fact, let's just use our majors on our 1-minute chart.
Okay.
So on the 1-minute chart, I'd probably say if it right here and right here, where it could break, but this is going to be our majors, right? Above there and there. So what we want to do is we want to look at potential breaking points, and then potential breaking points of the market where it could go. And then I always want to keep an eye on that trend, right? So give me the view of the end of the 5-minute chart. Right, there you go. So what we should be looking for is if it comes up and touches this trend, you could see a reversal point, right? That could be a reversal point right there. So these are just all the possible places where if it comes up, touches here, we could sell. If it comes here and breaks this, though, we should probably be selling all the way down to there, right?
Okay.
So, in fact, because our trend is down, I'd probably put our bias as it kind of looking for sell opportunities, but taking buys when they present themselves. So the next thing is let's look at our price cycles.
So 4.5 and roughly about 4 to 4.5.
Right.
6. 6 or 7 kind of. I'd say around 5.
And then last thing for this, let's look at what our spreads are right now.
1.3.
1.4. All right. So we're going to need to look for opportunities that yield us 3 to 4 pips. So unfortunately, that's going to be almost a price cycle. So, and I'm probably from my bias and for what I'll be trading tonight is opportunities that are on the short side are going to be will play a little heavier than opportunities on the buy side, right? So right now, as it comes in, measure from here to here and see if it comes up and touches that. That's a good opportunity. What was that? Sorry. Okay.
3.9.
All right. So if it crosses this, let's go ahead and sell. Let's go ahead and start selling. So go ahead and throw a sell on. All right. So now what we're looking for is if it goes up a little higher, we're going to sell. And we'll continue to go all the way up and sell all the way up until it touches the trend here over on the 5-minute. And then that will kind of go light and see that's because that's kind of a decision point, right? If it breaks above this, we don't want to be too heavy on our sell. That makes sense? Cool.
Yeah. So like you can't adjust your lines once you draw it. Is that right?
And what you got to do is you got to right click on your chart. It's not right. Yeah, not the chart. It's on the line. So kind of hover over it. See when it says that. Now right click on it. Or maybe double click on it. Maybe not right click.
Oh, okay. Okay.
All right. So as it pops up above, we'll go ahead and put some more cells on. If it comes down here, let's start looking at your profit right here. Sorry, not your profit, count info. My bad. Just making sure that you're in a profit before we start pulling off trades. Now, okay, you're trading light, your account's 5,000. Go ahead and put another one on.
Another cell?
Yep. And then if it bounces up, get ready. If it kind of goes up, go ahead and throw another one on. This is our decision. Where's our decision point?
Up here, probably around here.
No, our take profit.
Oh, probably around over here.
Okay, I would probably say it's going to be right here. This is where we're going to be looking and seeing the action of the candle, right?
Okay.
So again, as it goes up.
Another one?
Yep. And just throw, let's see, you got 4 trades on. So you're in a layer right now. So that's good. And we'll hold on and see if it pops up above this. We'll put another layer on. John asked, are we doing 0 take profit or 2 take profit? I tend to always just go 0, but if you're trading Alveo, you can definitely do 2 take profit. But if you're trading MT4, go ahead and throw some more, start bringing it into another layer. If you're trading MT4, you need to have a 3 take profit if you're going to put a take profit on, because you got to cover the spread.
So question then, because it had like a breakout, if you will, on this one, well, when the candle finishes what it did. So how does that take into play, knowing that this is a breakout and that potentially it could go another 4.5, 5 pips? Right? Am I not looking at it right?
It could. So if you, like I said, I think it's going to come up to this trend line, make a decision and kind of bounce. And so I'm getting in a little early on that
Got it. Okay.
trend line to set up for a short. Now, if it doesn't, then this becomes our new action line. I'm not saying that it is right now, but I'm saying if it does break this trend line and start going up into here, then we need to have this be our new action line, and we need to adjust these trades, right?
Got it.
But we're not there yet. So this is exactly what I was hoping that would bounce up into here and allow us to put another layer on. Does that make sense?
Okay. You know what? I did not count into the 5 minute with that trend line and hitting that as a resistance, right? And so, okay, I got it.
That's why it's like important that we draw on our charts like every time before we start trading, so that we can kind of see all the possible areas, right?
Okay.
So we kind of get to know and start seeing those before we start trading. All right, let's see here. Ooh. I have been.
So David.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Sure. Go ahead.
Can you buy and sell on this platform MT4?
Yes. You can buy, sell, hedge, wobble, everything. The only thing that's different well, there's a lot that's different. But as far as price goes, is the spreads are larger. That's one of the major differences. And then just learning the differences between the platforms is kind of cumbersome at sometimes. That's why I kind of searched for a look and feel that's close to Alveo.
I have MT4, but I can only buy or only sell.
That's because it's with your broker. If you're using a U.S. broker, then you're going to be restricted to first in, first out laws.
Yeah, yes, first in, first out. That's what.
But you can't level with that.
So which broker is this?
The one that we use is called LMFX. And if you want to create a demo account in Discord, there is in Discord and let's see, trading resources.
Yeah.
There's a link to that.
Okay.
Because
I have MT4, but it's with Owanda.
Yeah. That's a good broker, but it just won't let you do the same things that we're trying to do. So
Wanda, maybe they're from Wakanda or something.
Okay. These that you have in it, these tabs, these are your scripts that you put on.
Yeah, these are the ones that I found, and also,
Okay.
I don't. So these are the ones like the Trader Agent, ZA that we use, and all that is in that resources as well. There's a link to the folder there.
Okay.
So it's also hey, Dad.
Yeah.
Can you mute you if you're not talking, and then and then there you go. You can't mute yourself and then talk. So if you want to talk, feel free to talk. Anybody can talk. Just keep you get muted unless you're talking. That's all good. All right. So you gotta love evening. Gotta love just this type of trading. So there's a couple things that I do in the evening that we're probably gonna do right now. I'll probably lean more around the 9 o'clock hour because there tends to be a little bit more volatility coming into the the top of the hour. I don't know what time it is there, just almost when I'm here. But top of the hour, after the top of the hour, there's a couple things that I like to do when I'm trading in the evening. And the number one thing that I'll do a lot is I'll double my layers, meaning that if you're trading with one layer and that equals 4 trades, that is awesome to do in the daytime when you have 5 to 10 pip swings or price cycles. But when our price cycles are 3 to 6, sometimes I'll 2x my layers. So that's where we're going to look for opportunity, because we're not going to make any money unless we go a little heavier in the evening. And if we do go heavier and it goes away from us, well, it's a little easier to fix because we're not going to be looking at it being, 2 price cycles is like 8 pips or whatever, right? Instead of 2 price cycles being 20 or 30 pips. All right. So that being said, let's see. We're probably going to be a little bit more aggressive tonight on taking profit and recycling our trades, looking for opportunities to recycle the trades. Just because I'd rather pill it and profit and pill it and profit, right? So can you zoom in on this just a little bit? Let's go ahead and zoom in. So no, in order to zoom in, just use your plus and minus keys on your keyboard, just a little faster. All right, so here's an action candle right here. Now we did break below it, but immediately you see that this candle said, this next candle said not so fast. We're not going to go down that way. So it price cycled down. Now we leave the door open for it to price cycle back up. If it price cycles back up and crosses this, that's where we can put another layer on. But I'd like to peel this layer off if we can. Once we get into profit, that's more than like just a little bit of profit. I'm hoping that come back down to here, and this is our action for this layer. And so we'll see what this does right here. Boom, boom, boom. All right, so if it shoots up, we'll go ahead and throw some more cells on. In fact, go ahead and throw like 2 cells on. Because again, we're coming back up into that trend line, and it's gonna break here. It's got to either break the trend or come down, right? It's got to go up or down, cool. Okay, go ahead. As it pops up, go ahead and throw a few more cells on. And let's get into, like I said, instead of playing with one layer, let's go ahead and play 2 layers in which you're at on this, in this one.
Oh, snap.
All right.
My favorite.
Let's see. TraderWise is asking if you can make your screen bigger. I'm not sure if that's cool or if that's you. And I think you have to double click on him in Zoom to make your screen bigger. All right, I want to see, now we've kind of crossed over that towards our next point. So we need to zoom out a little bit on that one. So also when it comes down, remember, we got to watch this right here because this is where our action point is, and we want to see what the candle's doing. So do we get out of our profit right here, our trades here? And so that's the question we need to be looking for. Slow and low.
So David, going by the sum, trying to figure out again how many lots we're in right now.
How many what?
How many lots we're in right now?
How many layers?
Well, it really would be lots, right?
Oh, lots. Sorry. Yeah. So he is in 1.3. You see that?
Oh, okay. Okay. I can see it now.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. So moving right along. Yeah, this is.
Dave, can I ask you a question? Where did
Absolutely.
the orders list come from?
Orders list? Oh, right here.
On the screen.
That's just what he has on right now. That's basically what this is down here. But what I know that this isn't really made for having 20 trades on, so it doesn't really have the exact amount. So I don't really go by this very much. That orders list, I usually use the one down here. So in fact, while it's doing that, cool, why don't we filter it out by your maximum profit over here, down there. Put your ones that you're profiting on up there first, because that way we can recycle on those as it comes down. All right. So if it crosses over this with the body, there's a chance that it could run up another price cycle. And if it runs up another price cycle, that could be another 4 pips, and I'd still sell. So I kind of am hoping that it goes up another price cycle to get us into a heavier position. Because when it's trading like this, you got to be a sniper right now. You got to snipe your trades, and if you can snipe your trades and go a little heavier, you'll actually start making some money here. Love me do. All right, so we got two decisions real quick. If it breaks this, it's going to run higher. If it breaks this, it'll come down to our action point, which is right there. So if it breaks this, what are we going to do? Cool.
Buy.
No.
Sell?
Yes. Until we get to the next
to the next day of the next price cycle?
Yeah.
So do you do any breakouts? Or not really?
Really depends on what you mean by breakout. You'd have to explain that a little bit.
So, for example, if it breaks out and it does have an opportunity to get another 4 pips, do you not grab a couple pips while it's going up there, or not really?
No, because you got to think it's not going to shoot up. It's not going to just break out and go 4 pips. It's going to break out and then back, and then and you got a 1.5 pip spread, so 4 pips doesn't do anything for me as far as like finding a buy opportunity, right? When the trend has been always down and you're up against the trend line on the down, I'd still rather play the down until it's giving me confirmation that the up is the new trend.
Okay,
that makes sense. Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
I guess what you could do, David, with it for me is reduce the list down there so that the black screen grows a little bit. Because it looks
gotcha. Cool. Yeah, cool. Why don't you do that? Grab this right here.
And what?
Or maybe it's this guy. I think it's that guy. And then go down. Yeah, to make your trading screen bigger. Good call, Patricia.
Well, I'm squinting over here as well. So
you guys just need a bigger monitor.
He said, it's not my fault. It's old age, man.
All right, so it broke. It broke here with the body, right? So now the next logical thing it's going to do is to come down here to our action point. And that is not a straight line, but our action point is really right here, right? And so if you have profit, that's a considerable, not anything less than $1 is not good. So here's our action point. What's it doing? Okay. I don't think it's going to stall because it broke through, but how much time we got? We had 20 seconds left.
Start taking profit.
I want it to break with the body. I want the body to stay. So it's down here with the body. And we got 10 seconds left on that candle. So this is a good sign that if this candle can stay below this right here, it'll travel. Well, the next point is here and then it's there, right? But again, if this body comes up and closes above that, then it negates that. So, but that was good. We didn't want to take profit off of that just at that moment because, like I said, it didn't really stall. It did break.
Would you put in more buys here or just wait? I mean, sells.
Sells. Yeah, I'd probably throw a sell on right now, only because we're really early in that candle, and I don't think it's going to say false break, give us a false break. It could, but I'm going to go ahead and throw another one on. And retreat. And it didn't retreat. All right, that's all good. All right, because that didn't happen, it price cycled down, and now it's price cycling back up. So again, same thing. If it comes down here, we'll probably need to start peeling off some of our profits. But this is good. We're not even in heavy at all. So you can probably, when I say throw some on, double it. So when I start saying, I mean, not right now, but when I say throw a few on, like go 3 or 4.
Okay.
So we can start kind of trading a little heavier, because we want 3 pips to yield us more profit than like $3. Does that make sense? And with the movement that is happening right now, it's not very unsafe. You know, it's not very risky to go heavier, because it's not going to jump up 30 pips on us. You know what I mean?
Mm.
The likelihood of that is low. It has happened. I've seen it happen, and that's not fun when you're trading with such low volatility and it jumps up 10 pips on you in the wrong direction. Well, you're probably not recovering on that for hours.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. Here's our action point again, right down here. Get ready to kind of peel off your top. Is that your most profitable one? Yeah. So yeah, you see why I wanted to kind of go double on that, so that.
Sure. Mm.
The other thing that you could do, but it's probably easier just to double up your buys or double up your sells. The other thing you can do, sometimes I'll do, is just change my quantity size, but it's a pain in the butt to change quantity sizes. So what I've done in the past is come up here, and you see this right here, that arrow right there. Right here.
Okay.
Click on that arrow and expand it. Sometimes you can change your quantities really quick there by typing in there.
Okay.
And that's like a one-click trading for like you have an Albion.
Okay. So a couple bucks when we get to that, start peeling away, or go to this line to the distance?
Yeah, I mean, now I'm kind of thinking, I mean, we kind of missed our opportunity to do that, where I was trying to recycle trades where we peel them off here, put them back on here, you know, peel them off here, put them back on here, and turn like $2 into $4, right? So really I'm thinking we might see it pop here and come down to here. But we'll see. Still the same thing. Down here, action, stalls, get out. If it.
So on here, like I have closed shorts and closed longs. I think when I click on either of them, it closes everything out.
No, it shouldn't. It will if you close shorts. But you do have a. I did have a close all in there too. You can add. TraderWise wants to have you maximize this right here, if you can. Then I'll just keep an eye on the 5 minute.
Sure.
Fun stuff. We're just not getting any profit opportunities. So that's why I tend to go a little heavier in market conditions like this. That says it all.
Just a long day.
All right, here we go. It's coming back down to making the decision.
Should I try to close shorts?
No, we don't want to close everything because you'll lose money. So we just want to close out our profits and recycle them. But I don't want to do that. It's just really hard to do that, to say do that at $1.
I know.
Like, whoop-de-doo. But, I mean, we could have turned $2 into $4, I guess. And it's starting to come into like a little tiny pinch point. So I'm hoping that means it's going to break lower and gives a little more profit opportunity.
David.
Yeah.
You're selling because on the 5 minute, when you started, your trend was down.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
And it's been selling for, long time, past couple days. But I mean, I'm not saying that I'm not looking for buy opportunities. I'm just saying we're trading with such little tiny price cycles that I'd rather, if I'm going to get into trades, I'd rather be with the trend than against it.
Okay.
All right. Decision point right here. Yeah, go ahead and, man, it's just like, it's come down, crossed it, come down. My gut says it's going to break down, but I'd rather
you have to help me because I have to close out on it. Every time I click on it, I don't know if there's a setting in there that I may not have put in there.
Yeah, go ahead and as soon as that pops down, do that again. Like, see, okay. Let you close it, and then I want to see when it gets down there again. Like it, John. You can colors a teeny tiny bit. Yeah, let's do that real fast. Go to tool. Yeah, let's see that. Options. Make sure one-click trading is on. I think it's under trade. Maybe not. Yeah, there it is.
Thanks.
Okay, go ahead and throw a few more cells on. Again, missed the opportunity to recycle. So we need to start taking advantage of that. That was my fault. I should have pulled that trigger. Like here's a recycle point here. There's a recycle point, or right here, right here. We could have recycled all these trades if we would have just got out here, gone back in, got out here, right? So it's like nails on chalkboard trying to trade this, guys. All right, so if it comes down again, I just hate it because everything in my trading says if it tests, here's a test, and then on the third test, it's most likely going to break, right? But it's never a bad thing to take profit. Never a bad thing to bank profits.
So is $2 the minimum that you're looking for, or honestly, depending on the formation and how?
It's more the action of the price than the amount of dollars, right? But if you're at like 50 cents, that has to come into some sort of calculation, right? And so maybe that's just a process of you just trading with the 0.10, which is where you should be during the day. But if we increased your quantity, you'd be up a little more. So, but it's not about the dollar amount; it's about making the right read. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I agree with that. Josh says it's so wiki tonight. Wickety, wickety, wickety. Okay, so there's our pop up. Go ahead and sell again. Throw a few more cells on. And like I said, continue to sell
As it goes up, continue to sell.
Yeah, continue to sell as it goes up, and then we'll draw our line in the sand right there. So if it comes down to here or anywhere here, let's just go ahead and close out unless it just goes past that. But if it comes down here and stalls, let's close out everything, okay?
Okay. And that's when I would go, obviously, close shorts, right?
Yeah, and you just double click on it. It's a faster way. Boom, boom, boom. We are right up against that trend line on the 5-minute. That doesn't mean that it's going to, it just means there's a good chance.
Okay, good night, guys.
That's the smartest move right there.
Good night.
That's all. That's about the consensus of this trading session. There's nothing happening.
So anyone in Florida for the hurricane?
Oh,
Hope not. I mean, that would not be good if you're trading. House is blown away. I got so few trades on still.
Hold on to the computer, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Boom, boom, boom. All right. I think the opportunity here that we missed tonight is recycling our trades. And that's my bad. I should have had you do that because I think we could have been, I think that's the technique that we should have deployed, and it would have been a good learning one. Is just recycling our trades to make one price cycle turn into 3 or 4 profit events. So let's see if we can pull this out and have an opportunity to do that. What is if it does go up, it's only going to go up like another 3 pips. So that's like not even worth getting into buys to ride it it's not worth getting into the buys to ride it to the top of that. It's only 3 pips. I like it, Josh. It's 1 a.m. Here we come. I got a challenge. If people want to take this challenge, I was thinking about it over the weekend. So, and I don't know, like, do you guys? Some of you guys maybe already have. Who here is trading their own account, like their own money, like an MT4 on the side? Just curious, like, if there's people here doing that as well as apiary. And Tammy. So you're building your own with prop firm, sure. One of the things that just the question is, if you've never done it before, like if you've never traded with your own money versus, you know, obviously Sean's money, you trade different, right? I mean, the answer is absolutely you're going to trade different when it's your own money and somebody else's money. But sometimes people will be more scared to trade, and sometimes people will be more aggressive with their own money than they are with somebody else's, right? And you don't know. You honestly do not know which you're going to be, right? Because some people will like, I don't want to lose somebody else's money, but I can lose my own money. And other people would be like, I can lose somebody else's money, but I don't want to lose my own money, right? And so there's like two different philosophies of thought that you don't know what side of the fence you're on until you actually trade your own money, right? And so I was thinking about that over the weekend. And, you know, your money is obviously whatever, it's an intrinsic value to how much money is a lot of money, right? For some people, $100 could be a lot of money. And for other people, $10,000 could be equivalent to $100. So it's all intrinsic to you on what is too much, right? But I was thinking about it over the weekend, and I was thinking, you know, it would be a really, really good experience, a really good exercise to take a small amount, whatever you deem small, whether that's like $100 or $500, and follow along with us, like do it, you know, and see what kind of changes you make because it's your own money, right? And use that as a really good exercise, because it does change the game quite a bit up here in the head. It changes the game quite a bit in the head when it comes from just a demo account that you're trading versus a live account, right? And I don't really think it matters how much money. It's the psychology of it that you have to work through. And so that's what I'm saying. Like, it would be a really good exercise to start with something small, like $100, $500, whatever that is, that, and work through it, right? And work through that psychology, because it still is. And you don't want to have to work through that psychology when you're like, okay, I'm confident now, I know what I'm doing, and I'm going to go ahead and smack 10 grand on, and then you start losing it, and it compounds that. Once you get into a losing position of your own money, it compounds, you start putting more and more pressure on yourself, right? I don't know. I was just thinking about that over the weekend, about starting small for the psychology of it. All right. That was not what I wanted to do. I was hoping it was going to turn and come down and test that bottom. But now that it didn't, it's going to price cycle back up and test the top. Absolutely. I agree. Everybody, I honestly do believe that, every good trader has taken a bad loss. Every good trader is taking a bad loss. And I don't know. And I was thinking about that too. Maybe some of you guys, maybe some way I want to read this. Listen, John says, a long time ago, I had a $25,000 account, Forex. I was afraid to take a single trade and close it. Okay, so you understand that, right? You understand that psychological aspect of it for sure. It's like I don't even want to place one trade, and everybody goes through that. I mean, I went through that when I shifted over from kind of trading April's money to trading my own money. It was like I felt like I was confident and knew what I was doing, but at the same time, once you put live money in there, it's still your money. And do you trade scared because of that, or do you trade the same way? And I don't think you can really answer that question of how you transition over until you do it, right? And I think everybody's going to be different on their psychology. But yeah, getting back to that, like you ask any good trader that like, and they have a loss story. They've taken a loss, right? And I'm no exception. I've taken losses. And it's just never fun to take a loss, but the ones that don't give up and get right back on the saddle, I don't know if you guys have ever heard this story, but when Sean got started trading, he was in college and like really trading, and his goal was just to make enough to his goal every day was just enough to cover lunch or dinner, and that was it. $10, $20. And eventually that grew, right? And that's why I'm like, maybe that's where we should all start, is just something like we're just trying to make enough every day, take $100 and try and cover dinner, right? Every night. So just try and cover dinner, right? And if we can cover our dinner, then we cover our car, then we cover our mortgage, then we, start growing from there. I don't know. Just a thought. All right. So like I said, because it came down here, price cycle back up, broke that. If it does not retreat on this candle, that means it's going to climb and test that right there. So you got about 10 seconds before that decision is made. And I think that decision has just got made. So go ahead and throw a few more cells on, because now what we're going to do here, cool, is we're going to go ahead and cut. We're going to go ahead and say these layers are now break-even layers. And so our decision point now is right here. So we need enough up here to make profit if we're going to kill these layers down here. That makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to try and recycle these layers right here. So go ahead and throw a few more on. So much fun. Okay, so we're going to make hard decisions. We're not going to see the action. We're just going to make these decisions because the action seems to happen so fast. As it comes up to here, even if it comes up to here, we're going to continue to sell for another price cycle. So go ahead and throw a few more on right now. And if it comes down to this line, we're going to get out of everything. Okay, this is our get out of everything. If it comes up here, we throw a few more cells on, and it comes down to here, we're going to get out of our money ones and recycle these trades if it wants to continue to play up here, and then we'll wait for it to come down and get out of everything down there. So this is where we'll look to recycle if it comes up. Like throw a few more on. If it comes up here and test that. This is our recycle line, so we'll get out of money trades here. And we'll see if it's going to play price cycle here for a minute. And we'll recycle trades in here. All right, go ahead and make sure you have your highest profit up top. And then as it comes down to here, we'll recycle that trade. So again, this is where we'll hit the X on everything. And this is where we're going to take the money and run. I'm going to change the color here. Yeah, maybe go white. No, white's too hard to read. Change the thickness. There we go. Love me do. All right, so if it crosses this right here, there's a good chance it's going to come down there with the body.
Oops.
Okay, get ready to pop some profit here. Again, comes down. I want it to come down to there. And it's flickering, so probably won't. Mm-hmm. All right. If the candle goes blue, go ahead and peel off because that's close enough. And we'll start recycling. But I don't think it's going to break this. It's probably going to, like I said, it's probably going to play up here for a minute. So might as well start recycling some of these trades.
So just get whatever profit.
Yep.
Oops.
It's like really taking sips out of the market right now. Mm-hmm. I don't know why they still have like MT4 still has like the 90s called and wants their sound effects back. It's paint and dry. Mm-hmm. Man, all right. It's just so painful to trade at this time of night. That's why I like usually if I am trading, I'm usually like we'll be watching something or doing something else while you have trades on. And so I'm watching every single candle that moves half a pip is just not fun. It's not fun.
Should I play a chess game while we're at it? It's a 1 minute game.
Do we have any chess players? Cool's always looking for fun.
Yeah, that's what I'm playing. I figure it's a 1 minute game.
All right. So here's what we don't want it to do. I'm just like looking at what if scenarios. We don't want it to break above the top. Well, you still got a little bit. Go ahead and zoom out real fast. I think it might be that red line, but minimize this. Minimize your control panel really quick.
Minimize.
Sorry, it's this guy right here. Minimize that guy.
Oh.
Yeah. So this is the top right there.
Yeah.
So we don't want it to break above that before getting out of our positions. And so that's why I'm like, here is going to be your get out of my positions card. And I think it should travel there. But if it does break above this is when we would want to flip into buys right there. And I think it could run up. If it breaks above that, you could see it run. I could easily see it going for another 10 pips or so before it decides to or play in a 10 pip range up and down 10 pips before there's another break to the higher side. But I would continue to sell all the way up to that line for the price cycle down. Let's go ahead and throw a few more on right now. All right, so now let's go ahead and throw a few more on. We're gonna get into, because we really I thought it was going to kind of play right here, and it still might, but that's not enough to recycle our trades. It's just not enough with the spread. So what we're going to do is we're going to go with a different technique. And that is just get in a little heavier right here and go ahead and get in. Go ahead and sell right there. Put like 3 or 4 sells on. So what we're doing is we're looking for a get out opportunity to get out of all of our trades right here, or money opportunity there. And then still, hopefully it comes down to here, and this is where we hit that X. As it goes up and we continue to sell, this line goes to this line, this becomes the X, this becomes the money, right? As you climb higher. So you got 50 or 40 trades on.
How many bullets do I have?
Well, like I said, you got your worst loss is still $9. So we're not really worried about what you're losing. But what you're in, okay, go ahead and throw a few more cells on right now. And let's see here, looking like it's coming to the top. And it's going to break above that. I don't think it'll break above it on the first test. If it does,
we got probably.
Then we'll just play the price action. So you're looking at, it's got to cross this red line with the body, really.
You only went up 2 price cycles, 5 pips, 10 pips.
Right. All right. So again, we're going to look at this as our action down here. this was where you might want to peel off everything. So let's go ahead and minimize this screen, your 1 minute. So what we need to start seeing now is, yeah, do that. And then hit that, toggle that again. So it puts it on top. What we need to start seeing now is as soon as this comes down to break even or a little bit of profit, and that's when we're on a, is when we fixed those trades. Paint dry. Okay, if it does cross over that, we'll throw some buys on and start playing the stop the bleeding from the sells and make some money on the buys until it goes to a price cycle. I don't know. Do you guys see my videos that I sent last week of how I fixed a position? I think I sent them in Loom. Basically, I was in kind of a situation like this that reversed and it broke out on me. And I did, like for here, I got into some buys. So I bought, I wouldn't buy just yet until the body closes. So if the body closes, we'll buy until it starts running up. We got 10 seconds left on those candles. So now we got to deploy this technique, which is a stop the bleeding on the shorts, make some money on the buys, and then make some money when it decides to price cycle back down. All right. So as it comes down, go ahead and buy.
Okay.
If it comes down. If it goes up to, I'm trying to see where the next resistance is. Resistance. It's kind of hitting it right now. Oh. I'm just watching to see the action of this candle, or the action where it's going to go, how high it can climb before it's on the resistance point. And it's kind of there on the 5 minute. It could break up and run up a little bit more. That's why I'm like, if it pulls back just a little bit, throw a few buys on, like right into there. Go ahead and throw a buy on right there. Oh, hate that spread. And these just candles are so. Okay, now you're going to have to throw buys on if it comes down to there. But I think the buys, I don't know. I think these buys could turn into some overnight trades too. If you want not aggressive overnight, but I think you're safe on putting in on those buys. If we don't hit those buys, I think you'd be safe on putting like a 5 pip take profit if you wanted to walk away on the buys. But we're putting those in there as a safety layer right now. But I'm just looking at it as like, okay, let's just assume, let's just play the what if game. Let's throw a bunch of buys on here or whatever, and then it decides to come down here, which is what we want it to do. I still think overnight, those buys are a viable option. So that's why I'm like, okay, it's not going to be a risk factor. If throw a few more buys as it gets lower. Does that make sense? Because we want to protect our positions here with the buys. And especially if it comes down here, throw a few more buys on. So as it comes down, throw some buys on. And then now we're going to look for some profit on anything so that we can start taking some profit and peeling off some of these trades down here.
No, spreads are horrible.
They're what we got. They're what we got to trade with, right?
Yeah.
So,
what's partial and break even again? Break even is when it, just going.
If you click that, it'll close out all your trades once you break even.
Once break even, okay.
Right. It'll just basically close out of those. And
the
reversing is where it's going to close out all your trades and enter into the opposite direction, which you don't necessarily want. And then partial is just peeling off half of your trades. Not half your trades. It actually takes half of the position, closes half of your position on your trades. So if you're in to a 0.10, you click partial and now you're in 0.05. That makes sense on each one of your trades. All right. So again, it's come down and it's crossed that line, which is good for your sells. And it got 10 seconds left. We'll see if it doesn't ride back up, but I'd probably put another buy on and keep buying all the way down to there. Because we're going to do the exact same thing with your buys is we'll put a take profit on, or if we can, for your buys, this is your decision point right here. And this is also your get out of your money ones right there on buys. Make sense? Cool.
Okay.
But you can't do that. So you got to click on this now. You got to filter them by type because you got 2 of them on. For your sells, we'd love it if we could cross that and make that your decision point. I don't think it's going to cross that though. All signs point to price cycling back up.
So David, right now we have buys and sells at the same time. If you
Correct.
hit, if we were to hit one of those partial bottom or whatever, how would it choose if it's going to take out your sells or your buys?
It's impartial.
Okay. So
it's the partial button is impartial. It'll take out all of them, all your trades on. You can't dictate, at least on this. There might be a script out there that you could do that, but on this it'll just do all of them.
Okay.
All right, so as it comes up here, we're going to recycle these trades again.
So start.
Well, I have to wait.
How are you closing your buys or your sells individually?
Just by hitting the X down here.
Yeah, it's popping up a menu.
That's what I was with me.
It's popping up a menu.
Yeah, it wouldn't allow me just to close them out. I had to go through a menu and do like 3 or 4 different.
Oh, because you got to have the one-click trading. Is that what it is?
Maybe I have to do that.
All in all, though, cool. I don't really not really hating the position that we're in. Just need to get some movement, right? That's all. We needed movement all night. So now I kind of like having being in both positions because you're forced to not root for one direction or the other, right? And so now you have multiple decisions that you have to make. It's not just binary, right? You don't have to do this or that. You have to have a lot of different things going on, a lot of different processes when you have buys and sells on. And so sometimes it makes it more difficult, but this is a great learning point when it's moving really slow of all the different things you have to keep into contemplation, right? And so you're like, okay, if it breaks down, great for my sells, bad for my buys, right? Breaks up here, great for my buys, bad for my sells. And so you're forced to kind of love the market no matter what direction it goes. Does that make sense? And so kind of helps you to have that. I think for me, it helps me to have that. I'm not sell biased or I'm not buy biased. I'm just opportunity biased. And so now we're looking for where is the next opportunity? Well, the next opportunity is if it doesn't cross tier, it's probably going to come up here and give us that recycle opportunity of your buys. If it does cross this, then obviously our next point is right here. I still think for your sells, if it can come down here and touch this, this is your get out right there of everything, right? So that's your closeout of all sells, not buys. That's your closeout of sells when it touches that. And as soon as you do that, I would immediately get into some buys.
Okay.
Right? So
have we changed our trend or not yet?
Good question. Overall, no. You could still draw a solid trend line on that 5-minute chart. And in fact, it's kind of, I don't think we're going to really see a trend change until it crosses over until we see it cross over 96564, which is about 17 pips away. But I mean, you do have an uptrend, so you're playing kind of a channel, and it's coming into that V. when it does hit that wedge or that V, my belief is that it's going to pop higher. And we have probably I don't know, another hour before it really gets to that pinch point. So that would be my call out, and my thought is what's going to happen, in the next hour or so is it'll break higher and go higher. So I think you're going to get maybe 1 or 2, if you're lucky, opportunities to test this bottom. If it doesn't, then we probably need to start flipping our positions in the buys. And I do the exact same thing. So if it comes down to here, test it, doesn't break, goes up, test it, doesn't break, I probably close out everything, get into buys for the same weight factor that you're in right now, and ride those buys up a little bit. So that's why I'm like, you have to have multiple different scenarios of execution. And of course, if it does come down and break, that's what we want it to do, to get out of our sells without taking max loss on the sells. But we'll see what it does when it tests that. All right, so if it breaks above this, it's probably going to come up and test this right here. And if it breaks, so remember, this is our money area right there. If it goes all the way back up to the top. Hmm. What are you thinking, Cool? What's going on in your head?
I got to get up at 5.
Not a bad thought. I got to get up early too.
But you never sleep, Cool. How come I always get up?
No, he has to get up from his chair.
Oh, there you go. There you go. That makes sense.
I have to substitute teach in the morning. I can tell you this much. I hit the 50 trade. I've been telling you, hey, how come I can't trade more than 50 on Alvio?
Yeah, it's not to me. It's about. I mean, you're still not in what I would. I mean, you're in. If you were in heavy in the morning, but this is just like I'm not panicking. This isn't a panic situation. It's a slow. It could turn into death by 1,000 cuts, though. And then we don't want it to do that. That's why our buys are on to protect us. But your buys are so small compared to your sells. So that's what I'm saying. If we can get it to break down, probably want to start peeling off some sells, right? And lightening the sell position, getting into the buy. And okay, I think I'm going to do this because it's getting late and we could sit here probably for another couple hours. Let's go ahead and let's do an adjustment of your take profits on your cells. So if we modify, let me see here. We want to modify our sell orders down to this line. It's going to be hard to do.
Should I take out some of this profit or leave those two? Because it may go to the upside.
Let's see what this next candle does on the price. Can you hit your, there you go. I just want to see how much time. Okay. Yeah. Like I thought, it's going to come back up and play up here. Yeah. Go ahead and start peeling off some of those profit. And then we'll try to recycle those.
So you're peeling the worst losses? Is that what you're peeling?
No, he's peeling his profit.
Oh, okay.
Right now.
Right.
So that we can recycle them. If it
Right.
back down. Go ahead and close out of your buys.
Was that on the buys?
Yeah.
The long.
Just double click on that.
Okay.
All right. Now, the reason why I had you do that so that we can make an adjustment on our stop losses. So let's figure out what is our take profit from here down to here. Go ahead and put on a take profit of 8.5. So modify stop loss and take profit.
Where do I go? That tools?
Nope, right here. Right there.
Drag it over?
Or just double click.
Oh, okay.
And then let's change that to 8.5. And let's change your stop loss value to, let's put that at, I really want you to get out of all those. If it goes up, put it at 25. And then okay. And then show me the end of your screen. See if we did that.
It shows up on it right here.
Yeah, no, this is where it's at, but I think that's still just like a little bit too low, where I'd really like it to be right at this price. And it's difficult because I can't put the price in. I got to put pips away from wherever that is, from wherever the price is currently at. But if it comes down here and doesn't and kisses that, that's going to suck. So
bring it up a little higher.
Yeah, but so that means you got to measure it from this point to this point.
From where to where?
From where price is to this point, to the body of that candle. So it was like 7.6.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and modify that again to 7.6 and 25. And then hit OK. Whatever. All right. Now back to the buys real fast. If it comes down.
We got rid of all the buys.
Right. But we're going to get back into some.
Okay.
So as it comes down and crosses this line, really crosses this line right here, go ahead and throw some more buys back on.
Okay.
When you throw your buys back on, do a 5 pip change that, smack that. Throw in, like start buying all the way down to here. In fact, if you were going to watch it, I'd continue to buy down to here. And throwing layers on with a 10 pip take profit. That'll protect these cells down here. As a 10 pip take profit with a 25 pip stop loss. That'll protect these cells if it goes up, moves up, and your cell volatility overnight. You should hit both of those. But that's what I'd be looking to build into right now. Is as it comes down, start throwing some buys on. No, do not throw buys on here. Well, it has to start when this is where I'd start throwing buys on. And crosses that.
Okay.
Does that make sense of how we're trying to set it up for tonight? So you're not gonna win on any of these. These are what you'll take losses on, but there's a good chance it still could come down and hit those. If it doesn't, then your buys are going to protect these. And so, I mean, worst case scenario is that it never hits your cells, and it takes 10 pips on your buys and you lose 20 on your cells, which would be a negative 10 pips. That makes sense.
Mm.
So go ahead and throw a buy on or 2. But that's still better than being negative.
I can't do it anymore. Am I maxed out?
No. You should be able to buy. It's just delayed. So I'm hoping that I'm going to come down. I mean, that's a pretty aggressive candle on the downside. And you normally, when you see an aggressive candle and not like a slow build down, it usually doesn't hold any weight.
So David, is there a way to set up take profit or stop loss just for buys or just for sells?
No, it does it for both of them.
Okay.
I got to find that though. We should hunt for something like that.
Okay.
Nick, we put the stop losses about 25 pips away from price. So it's sitting on the 5-minute chart. You can kind of see them. They're all right here for the stop losses.
Right.
Oh, and they're trailing stops. We need to adjust that. I don't like trailing stops.
How come they're trailing stops? Where did you choose that?
That's just on his trader agent settings. In fact, just go ahead and stop that. Grab your trader agent and throw that on right there. And let's take that off. Load your 1 minute zero take profit. Just double click on Trader Agent.
Nothing showed up.
Yeah, and then load your 1 minute zero take profit.
Okay.
And let's do take this to 0. And then let's see what we can you double click on that? And then do that to off. I think that's all we really need to do, just off. Okay. Wait, sorry. Do it again. I didn't mean to say, okay, we want to save that as your 1 minute. So double click on that again. Load your 1 minute. Turn it off. And then save it as your 1 minute.
Starting to feel the hurricane here.
Are you in Florida?
No, I'm in the path.
All right, is it getting windy out there?
Yeah.
How come that loan agent doesn't come through? Just
Did you do it? Cool.
No, see.
Just double click on it. It's not doing it.
It's not.
Uh-oh. Did the hurricane get you, Patricio?
No. We're on the, we're going to feel it, but no, we're not directly on the path.
Oh, I just saying because your video just went off.
Oh, really?
There goes Patricio.
Yeah, you just blew off. What happened?
Sure why it's not coming up.
It's not loading, huh?
Mm-mm.
All right. Again, if it crosses down here, throw another buy on, throw some more buys on.
It's not doing it.
Yeah, it's just time delay. For your sells, we'll see if it can again cross down here. And we'll see if it wants to. I'd put more than, how many buys you have on? I'd put a few more on.
See, maybe there's a delay because I've been clicking on it and it's not.
It's not doing it.
Mm-mm. There you go.
That's adding them, but it's not adding them over here, which is weird. So,
Where's one-click trading, Joshua?
right here.
Oh. To use that instead?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
This is an EA, and this is directly on the platform.
Which is faster, doesn't matter.
This was going to be faster, but I've never really had the issues you're having when I've done it. All right, so here's the moment of truth. Are we going to break low, or is it going to bounce up higher? All right. This is a you call. Cool. I'll let you make this decision, but
it just looks like it looked like the strength is more on the upside right now.
Sure. That's what I'm saying. For me, depending on what this action does in the next 10 seconds, I may close out of some of these bad ones down here, and just take the loss, but I'll wait and see. And that just doesn't do anything.
So it looks like it's good testing it, right? Come down 1, 2, 3, and then I'll probably go back up. Is that the logic?
Yeah. I mean, you got the candles, the wicks forming on the bottom. So it looks like it's going to go back up, but I don't know if it was back up means it's not going to break is what I mean. So back up could mean here and then break. I still think these are still, and this right here is still definitely doable, but I want to put in buys along the way. So start buying along the way. If we get it to break below this red line right here, then there's a super high probability that that'll break. That'll
Go down.
Yeah. Looking at the trend. Like I said, we're coming into that wedge on the 5 minute. I'll give it one more test. And then if it doesn't break through, I'm going to call it and just set up our trades and then say goodnight.
Okay.
It did form an M, or sort of, right?
Yeah, kind of like you're seeing right here. That's why I was like, you also have a kind of a double top a little bit. That's why I was like, I could see it breaking, but if it doesn't, then it's just going to be a long time. You know, who wants, you know. That's what I kind of was thinking it's going to do is come up, test this. If it breaks through here, then we'll set everything up. But if it doesn't, it could come and break this, basically pulling back to break through. We got 10, 15 seconds left on the candle. And it didn't break. Super fun trading tonight. So excited. All right, if it does break, we'll call it, but we'll set up some trades to protect ourselves.
China.
Come on. Man, it just doesn't want to make a decision. How many buys do you have on? You got 5 buys.
Yeah.
And 43 sells.
So maybe I'll just go ahead and take peel off some of these. I know it's pennies.
Not yet.
No?
Oh, some of your buys?
Yeah.
Now, I'd hold on to your buys right now as we're going to use these we're going to use your buys. In fact, I'd probably throw a few more on to protect your sells.
buying at the high end.
Yeah, no, sorry. It peels back right here, throw some on. And then let's circle out, or let's pull out. What we're going to do is we're going to put our buys at a take profit. This one's going to be a little different, so we can't just adjust them all. We're going to manually adjust it. But let's put our buys at a price of okay. Start going into your take profit. So you double click on the take profit and put it at 0.96490 and then copy that. Yeah, you're 2-click copy there, Chief. You got to do it again. It's 96490. And then copy that. And then you got to hit the blue modify. And then you got to do that on all your buys. Is that it?
Yep.
All right. The next thing that I would do, if you're gonna watch this or not, is if it's me, I'd probably do the same thing at this price, which kind of sucks. I would try and get this take profit line before going to bed up to right here. And if that's that would be, I mean, yeah, I would. That's going to be tough to do.
Because I have to do it manually.
Yeah. 47. I've done that before, where I've had to do like 50 of them.
96355, roughly about.
Yeah, we need to find a script that we can modify cells by price.
96356. Okay.
The other thing that I would do too is that if it does cross this, I'd start throwing some buys on.
Okay.
And put your take profit with the buys at that price level. For me, I would like to almost be in. I'd like to probably be in about. This is what I would do if I was trading this. I'd probably watch it break below here. If it gets somewhere in here, I'd start peeling off these trades, throw in some buys for an overnight of anywhere between 10 to 15 pips. That could be pretty safe to help fix these trades that I'm peeling off, and then get some overnight trades of 10 to 15 pips on trades that are easy to take, like we just set up with these buys, but will fix these trades that we peeled off. And that's how I trade that.
Okay. Go ahead. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name, saying he can get the script. That looks like Magneto. Maybe read that. I don't know if that helps.
Yes, I would love that. Where you can click on your chart for your sells or your buys. I would love that, because I get in myself. I do this all the time and during my trading. Like if you're upside down or you got to fix it, you got to adjust your trades. I mean, everybody does, right? But it kind of sucks when you have to walk away. During the day, I never have to walk away. I'm never trading for 2 hours, and I'm never keeping a trade on for this long, for an hour or two, because like it just comes back. Well, anything's better than nothing, right? on that. All right, guys, I think I'm going to call it. Cool. Do you understand the execution here?
I think so. Yeah, I'll probably be trading a little bit. I'll probably be manually doing it. Maybe I need to do all that. Go some more. Okay.
So let's hope that it does just kind of break that, and then you don't have to do any of that.
Well, I'm an expert at that strategy. H&P, man.
Put your hook, right?
What is it?
But no, I'm just saying if it does break this, then that might give you an opportunity to not have to go there and manually adjust all those trades.
Yeah, I'll probably be in for a little bit. I'm going to do some work anyway at the same time, so I'll watch it.
Okay.
Hi, guys.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.